Exposed on my 28th birthday, I discovered my family's heartwarming surprise party for my sister. As Claire Johnson walked into her cluttered kitchen, she felt the familiar weight of the day pressing down on her. It was the eve of her birthday, and instead of the joys of celebration, her heart sank under the routine of her life. The laughter of children echoed outside in the evenings, a stark contrast to her quiet home, where the sounds of her uneventful existence mingled with the cold responsibility of her nursing job. At 28, she was a nurse, devoted to long shifts at the hospital, lost in a whirlwind of patient needs while her own dreams drifted further away. Her student debt was a shadow looming ever larger. Just yesterday, she had held her best friend, Aaron, a veteran struggling with unemployment, close to her heart as he sobbed on her shoulder, feeling disconnected from a world he had fought for but felt lost in now. Pressing urgency dulled her anticipation. What right did she have to celebrate when there were so many others in need? The truth clawed at her. She felt invisible, unworthy of the attention that surrounded an ordinary birthday. Sighing deeply, she reached for a glass of water, her fingers brushing against a pile of bills on the counter. As she sorted through the mail, frustration bubbled to the surface. On this very night, Emily, her younger sister, basked in the glory of newfound success as a local artist. The anticipation of celebration surrounding her sister's achievements pulled at Claire's heartstrings painfully. Just as she was purchasing baking supplies to make herself a simple cake, an unworthy treat for an unworthy milestone, faint whispers floated from the living room. Curiosity piqued, she peered around the corner and was stunned to find family members bustling in secretive excitement, adorning the house with colorful streamers and balloons. It took mere moments for realizations to strike with the force of a thunderstorm. They weren't preparing for her birthday, they were throwing an extravagant surprise party for Emily. Her dreams of being acknowledged began to unravel, revealing the inconsistency of love within their family dynamics. "Wow, look at this!" her mother exclaimed, as if the world had suddenly turned into a vibrant canvas just for Emily. Claire's heart raced, familiar pangs of envy twisted her insides. It felt unjust. Why couldn't they see her? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the sun sank lower in the horizon, laughter spilled out from the living room, and her heart sank deeper. Was a lifetime of sacrifice insufficient for even a moment of belonging? How had she become an afterthought to the vibrant dreams of others? Caught in the whirlwind of conflicting emotions, Claire took a deep breath and pushed herself into the crowd. Their laughter clashed against her frustrations. She could no longer stand in the shadows. A wave of determination surged within her. She opened her mouth, ready to confront the silence of her own story, the weight of neglect heavy on her shoulders as she prepared to voice feelings that screamed for validation. Would she reclaim a space within her family, or would she remain alone in her efforts while her sister dominated the spotlight? The moment was ripe for change, and Claire was at a crossroads, heart racing as she prepared to speak, stepping into a moment that would decide everything. "Can we take a moment?" Claire's voice rang out, slicing through the merriment. The laughter filled the room momentarily died, leaving only the soft rustling of balloons as all eyes turned to her. Faces were adorned with surprise, confusion, and even alarm. Her parents froze in their preparations, unsure how to respond, while Emily's bright smile faltered just the slightest. "Claire." Her mother ventured, a hint of worry in her voice. "What's wrong?" Claire's heart thudded in her chest, but for once, she didn't cave under pressure. I want to talk about this." She gestured broadly to the festive scene around them. "This isn't what I expected." "Surprise!" yelled someone from the back, but it fell flat now, as Claire gathered her courage. She took a step forward, her palms clammy but her resolve shining through. What I meant to say is that it's a little strange for me to stand here seeing everyone so excited for Emily, she continued, her voice surprisingly steady. I mean, I'm happy for you, Em, she added, turning to her sister, whose eyes widened as she processed Claire's words. It just looks like I'm invisible to everyone, Claire's words cut through the air, fiery yet tinged with sadness. I'm always the older sister, the one who is supposed to be responsible and put everyone first. But can we pause for 1 second? What about me? Silence engulfed the room. Claire felt the weight of their stares. Their eyes held a mixture of surprise, pity, and maybe something else she couldn't quite place. As they absorbed her words, the tension was palpable. Claire, we love you, her mother stepped forward, her voice laced with sincerity. We're all so proud of you. I didn't mean to overlook you. This is just. Emily had this big opportunity, and we wanted to support her, too. That's all. Claire understood but wanted more. She wanted to feel their pride wrap around her like a warm blanket, not just acknowledgment as an afterthought. I want to be part of the celebrations too, she said, her heart pounding. I want to celebrate my work, my sacrifices. I need you to see me. Emily moved closer, her previously radiant expression now filled with empathy. You're right, Claire. I didn't realize how much that might hurt you. I'm grateful, but I didn't mean for it to overshadow you. You do so much for everyone. Claire swallowed hard, feeling emotions bubble inside her. The weight of her sister's realization brought warmth to the cold spaces in her heart. She could see it in Emily's eyes, the desire to make amends, to share the spotlight. But was it enough? Maybe, Claire started, slowly, we can celebrate together. Can we make it a family affair? Absolutely. Her mother brightened, the excitement returning to her voice. We can share the evening. You both deserve it. The room filled with a sense of relief, tenderness blooming among the family members as ideas for the joint celebration began to flow. Balloons floated slightly lower now, and laughter resumed, but this time it felt like it was shared. As they joined in unison, Claire felt an unexpected shift, a connection forging before her eyes, rain clouds parting to reveal sunlight streaming in. Yet a subtle fear twisted in her gut. Had she truly been seen, or was this just another fleeting moment overshadowed by someone else's triumph? With her heart still aching for clarity, Claire found herself wondering. Had she finally made her voice heard? And would this moment of connection last, or would she remain unloved like so many birthdays before? The evening felt different now, but uncertainty lingered like a specter. As they began planning, laughter filling the air again, Claire recognized the path of understanding was only beginning. She wondered, as thoughts swirled through her mind, how would a new chapter unfold in her life as both sister and individual? What other truths would emerge from this uncharted territory of familial love? The party buzzed back to life, but for Claire, reality was still settling like dust. She watched her family regroup around the dining table, animated discussions erupting about how they could blend both celebrations into a joyful tapestry. In the warmth of their excitement, Claire felt something new sprout deep within her, a flicker of hope. But every time she reached out to grasp it, a shadow of doubt would rush in. Hey, you good? Emily asked, stepping closer. Concern softened her features, and the earnestness in her eyes both comforted and unsettled Claire. Just thinking, Claire replied, forcing a smile. She was trying to shake off the unease that lingered. Could she open up more, share the things niggling at her heart? But what if it all crumbled again? Emily glanced over her shoulder, catching their mother, who was charting a course on her phone about party supplies. You're not invisible, Claire. I swear I didn't see it. Just promise me you won't ever feel that way again, okay? Claire nodded, but the weight of her responsibility as the older sister felt like an anchor. I get it. But it's hard sometimes. Everything's Emily this and Emily that. Is that how everyone saw her? The girl who fell behind, forever second best to her adoring sister. Maybe I'm the one who should step up my game a bit, Emily said, playful acceptance sparking in her tone. You know, all I heard about when you left for college was how amazing you were. I just wanted to make you proud. The sting of Emily's words hit Claire directly in the heart, a mix of pain and longing swirling inside her. What would it take for her family to really grasp the sacrifices she had made, her own dreams sidelined while supporting her sister's? Suddenly, an idea ignited in her. Maybe tonight wasn't just about sharing the spotlight. It could be about sharing stories. What if, Claire began slowly, we created a family highlights moment? A time for us all to talk about what we find most special about each other. I'd love to share my side too. Surprise flickered across Emily's face, quickly replaced with enthusiasm. That's a great idea. Everyone could bring a memory they cherish about the other, and we can create a new tradition. Claire's heart leaped. She could already see light spilling into this gathering, casting away shadows and forging connections amidst the laughter. Perfect. Her mom chimed back in, inspired by the thought. Let us do it. It'll help reintroduce the love we often overlook in the hustle and bustle of life. As they went about making plans, Claire's worries felt lighter. There was something empowering about crafting this moment, a chance for everyone to be seen and heard. For once, Claire found herself at the center, a beacon calling forth joy, laughter, and the intimacy of shared memories, but deeper in her heart remained that whisper of uncertainty. Would all of this be preserved? Would she still matter when the last balloon popped and the laughter faded? That fear tightened around her chest as she prepared to speak. What if tonight didn't change how things worked in the long haul? Just as she was about to speak up again, someone rapped on the door. A hush swept over the room, curiosity taking a grip. Emily exchanged glances with Claire as everyone paused in anticipation. Who could it be? With a quick exchange of nervous glances, Claire's instincts flared. She had no clue what awaited them, but she felt that a ripple of change was coming, one that could reveal not just surprises, but perhaps the very truths that had eluded them all this time. Who was waiting at the door, and what would it mean for Claire and her family? The knock echoed again, breaking the spell of anticipation that enveloped the room. Claire felt a flutter in her stomach, a mix of excitement and anxiety. As Emily took a tentative step toward the door, Claire's mind raced. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. Maybe it's just someone from the neighborhood, Claire suggested, trying to mask her nerves. Or a package. But when Emily opened the door, shock spread across her face. Oh my gosh! She exclaimed. Claire's heart dropped, the excitement in Emily's voice vibrating like a plucked string. As she moved closer, she saw the figure silhouetted against the porch light, someone she didn't expect to see, not here, not now. Surprise! Their cousin Jake shouted, flanked by a few familiar faces. They all cheered, flashing smiles and balloons, their presence filling the room with a new energy. Jake? What are you doing here? Emily blurted out, her shock quickly morphing into enthusiasm as she rushed to hug him. Claire stood frozen for a moment, an unexpected lump forming in her throat. She hadn't seen Jake in years. Growing up, he had been like a brother to them both, but college and distance had scattered their lives. The warmth radiating from the welcome felt powerful. When Jake turned to Claire, he grinned widely. I couldn't miss your birthday, Claire. Mom told me you'd be celebrating with family. I just had to come and surprise you. At that moment, Claire's doubts felt lighter, almost dissolving in the air thick with nostalgia and laughter. Jake's arrival was a welcome reminder of shared memories, their goofy summer road trips, blaring music, and late-night stories around a campfire. As Claire joined them at the door, she felt an odd sadness tugging at her. Thanks, Jake. But, it's actually Emily's birthday too. The words slipped out before Claire could put a lid on them. Their eyes flickered back to Emily, who now wore a beaming smile, genuinely happy to share her moment. Even better. Jake laughed, double party means double the fun. With the rest of the family gathering around, Claire took a deep breath, but uncertainty lurked at the corners of her joy. Yes, this was a celebration. Yes, it was turning into something wonderful. But would it drown out the reality of what she still felt? That too often, the spotlight shifted away from her, and she faded into the background once more. Suddenly, a wave of realization swept over her. Maybe it wasn't about being in the spotlight, maybe it was about showing up for one another, like Jake had just done. Maybe her own story could weave alongside Emily's instead of standing apart. As the chatter swelled, Claire saw the glint in Jake's eyes. "Are we ready for some family highlights?" he announced, igniting a spark of enthusiasm that spread through the gathering. "Remember those moments?" A chorus of laughter erupted, and for the first time that night, Claire felt the tension in her chest begin to release. Everyone began to share tales, igniting laughter and nostalgia. But a part of Claire wondered. Would sharing stories of love and laughter be enough to bridge the gaps left unspoken? Were they finally seeing each other as they truly were, or just dancing around the real issues? Just as Claire found herself lost in those familiar stories, her phone buzzed slightly in her pocket. As she glanced down, her heart raced. A message from her mom appeared. "Claire, don't forget there's something important I need to tell you later." As laughter continued to flow around her, Claire felt her heart begin to race. What could it be? She sensed another wave of truth hovering on the horizon, just waiting for the right moment to emerge. What did her mom want to tell her, and how would it change the celebration that was unfolding? The stories flowed, each one wrapping around Claire like a soft blanket on a chilly night. Laughter bubbled up, warming the air as Jake recounted a hilariously embarrassing moment from one of their childhood adventures. Emily chimed in, her bright laughter mingling with the others, making Claire smile even wider, but in the back of her mind, the message from her mom loomed large. What was so important that it couldn't wait until after the party? Claire felt her heart flutter nervously. Would it disrupt the joy that was blossoming around her? As the crowd shared more stories, Claire studied the faces around her, the warm smiles, the twinkling eyes, the familiarity of each laugh. It felt like a rush of nostalgia wrapped in love. Yet, underneath it all, she wrestled with a creeping uncertainty that seemed to linger. "Hey, Claire. Remember the time we almost got lost on that hiking trail?" Jake's enthusiastic voice snapped her back to the present. Before she could answer, Emily threw her arms around Jake. "Yeah. You two got so scared you practically sprinted back to the car." More laughter erupted, and for a moment, Claire just soaked in it. This was her family, her messy, beautiful family gathering to celebrate both her and Emily. But as the party continued, Claire's gaze drifted to her phone again. She caught herself biting her lip, a bad habit holding on to her anxiety. Needles of worry pricked at her mind. What if this important news wasn't what she hoped for? A rush of emotions collided inside her. Suddenly, music filled the room as someone turned on a playlist filled with their favorite songs from childhood. The familiar beats and melodies wrapped around Claire like a hint of sunlight. She could hear the new energy buzzing as Jake grabbed Emily to dance, pulling her into movement. "Come on, Claire. Dance with us." Jake called, his smile infectious. She hesitated for just a heartbeat. But how could she resist? The pull of joy tugged at her, and she found herself joining, her body moving to the rhythm alongside them. Yet, in the wild twirls and jigs, a nagging thought lingered. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was just out of reach. As they danced, Claire glanced at the group, momentarily catching her mom's eye. The warmth in her gaze was undeniable. But Claire noticed something else, a hint of hesitation, a shadow of concern flickering underneath her mother's bright smile. "Come on, everyone!" Jake yelled, leading a round of silly dance moves, and Claire felt a wave of positivity wash over her. Laughter filled the room again, lifting her spirits despite her worries. Just as she let herself get lost in the moment, her phone buzzed again, drawing her attention like a magnet. She pulled it out, heart pounding faster. Another message from her mom. "I really need to discuss this with you." Can you meet me in the kitchen soon? Panic washed over her. Did she really need this right now? This was supposed to be a night of joy, not uncertainty. Claire looked back at the crowd, their laughter ringing around her, and felt torn. Emily caught her gaze, her eyes shining with happiness, and in that moment, Claire knew she had to make a choice. Would she hold on to her worries or embrace the joy unfolding before her? But still, the tension hung heavy. What could be so important that it needed to be shared right now? Just as the thought settled in her mind, Claire shoved her phone back into her pocket. She took a deep breath, trying to push her fears aside, reminding herself that this was a celebration. Yet a part of her knew she couldn't ignore the pull of that mysterious message forever. As the music played on, Claire felt a choice looming, and she would need to confront it soon before the dancing ended. What awaited her in the kitchen, and would she be ready to face it? As the laughter and music swirled around her, the festive atmosphere began to clash violently with the tight knot of anxiety in Claire's stomach. Each song played was a cherished memory, but the weight of her mother's message felt like an anchor pulling her down. Jake spun Emily around again, and her infectious laughter echoed against the walls, while Claire took a step back, trying to ground herself amidst the whirlwind of emotions. Deep breath in, deep breath out. She could hear everyone rejoicing, and for a moment, she reminded herself of what truly mattered: her family, but the kitchen loomed in the back of her mind like a looming storm. Could she really ignore the call of duty? Just as she was about to drift back into the moment, her phone buzzed again with a critical reminder from her mom. The need for clarity gnawed at her. "Claire. You okay?" Jake's voice pierced through her thoughts with the warmth of concern. "Yeah, just a lot on my mind," she replied, forcing a smile that didn't quite meet her eyes. Emily stepped closer, her bright eyes sparkling. "Let's just enjoy tonight. You deserve to celebrate." Just then, Claire caught sight of her mom again. This time, the sense of urgency in her eyes was unmistakable, sparking something deep inside Claire. What was she hiding? The answer felt too important to ignore, yet the pull of camaraderie was almost magnetic. She turned back to the dance floor. People were dancing freely, swaying their bodies with abandon. The energy was electric, but Claire felt like she was standing outside, observing life instead of participating in it. An involuntary sigh escaped her lips as she drifted to the party punch bowl, pouring a cup in hopes of hiding her turmoil in the sweetness of the juice. "Whoa there. One cup is probably enough," Emily teased, her tone playful as she nudged Claire with her elbow. Claire chuckled softly, the tension lifting a fraction. It was moments like these that made it worthwhile. A tiny flicker of joy ignited. Maybe she could power through another hour of celebration before confronting what awaited her in the kitchen, but just as she was about to rejoin the mix, her mother's gaze caught her again. Claire felt drawn, an invisible string pulling her closer. "I'll be right back," she called to her friends, her voice steady despite the sudden thud of her heart. With each step toward the kitchen, the laughter faded, replaced by a heavy silence that settled around her like a thick fog. Claire's fingers trembled slightly as she grasped the doorknob, uncertainty flooding every fiber of her being. The kitchen was still, bathed in a soft glow from the hanging lights. It felt different, more intimate than the boisterous party. And there was her mom, leaning against the counter, looking almost nervous. "Hey, sweetie." Her mom's voice was barely above a whisper. "Can we talk?" Claire nodded, her pulse quickening as she stepped inside, closing the door behind her. This was it. All the joy she had fought to cling to in the last hour faded, replaced by something much more profound. "What did you want to talk about?" Claire's voice tremored, a spark of fear blending with the anticipation in the air. Her mother inhaled, and Claire could see the weight of the moment pressing on her, as if she was juggling unspoken secrets and emotions. "I know this is a special night for you, but there's something I've been meaning to tell you." Claire stepped closer. The whirlpool of emotions inside her threatened to overwhelm. Would this be good news? Bad news? As her mom continued, the words hung in the air, heavy and profound. "I don't want you to feel blindsided. Just know we love you both so much, and... What was it? What secrets lay beyond her mother's words? Claire could feel the walls closing in, reality poised on the edge of revelation, and she was desperate to understand. What would her mother say next, and how would it change everything she thought she knew? The silence felt like it expanded around them, wrapping Claire in an almost suffocating embrace. She could see the flickering lights from the party through the small window, their glow casting a dance of shadows across her mother's face. Her heart raced, each beat echoing in her ears. "Mom, just tell me," Claire urged, her voice steadier than she felt. The look in her mother's eyes filled with warmth and fear made her stomach twist. "I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed," her mom began, her voice cracking. Disappointed? Claire barely had time to process the word before a cascade of memories rushed forward. Birthday dinners, surprise parties, family secrets. Had she really unknowingly stumbled upon something? "What are you talking about?" Claire whispered, desperation creeping in. "You're scaring me." Her mother took a deep breath and stepped a little closer, the tension palpable between them. "It's not what you think, it's not bad. It's just your birthday, Claire." The realization hit like a sudden thunderstorm. Claire's birthday. She could feel the tension unraveling, dawning truths pushing at the corners of her mind. "What about my birthday?" Her mother held her gaze, and Claire saw both fear and excitement there. "We wanted to surprise you. Your friends, your father and we've been planning a celebration for you, something special." All the times her mom had been elusive, the strange conversations she overheard, the hushed whispers on the phone, all of it began to stitch together. Claire's heart sank and soared at the same time. "A surprise party?" "Yes, for you and for your sister Emily, too." Claire's breath caught. "Emily? What do you mean?" Her mother hesitated, eyes glistening. "She turned 27 just a few weeks ago, and we thought the two of you deserved a joint celebration this year. We wanted you to feel loved and cherished. We worked so hard to keep it a secret." A wave of confusion and emotion mingled in Claire's chest. "I thought no one cared. I thought I was alone tonight." "No, sweetie." Her mother stepped beside her, grabbing her hand. "You are never alone. We love you so much. You're both so important to us." In that moment, Claire realized it wasn't just about her birthday, it was a symbol of connection and family. The festival, the music, it wasn't just sound. It was laughter, love, celebration. But beneath the surface, 100 questions bubbled. "Then why didn't anyone just tell me? Why keep it a secret?" "Because we wanted it to be a surprise." And what was left unsaid lingered in the air thickly. "And?" Claire pressed, her heart racing again, her mom's face softened. "And because we wanted to show you that even when things feel uncertain, love is abundant. We all struggle, but together, it makes everything lighter." Claire nodded slowly, the warmth of understanding washing over her. For so long, she felt like she was walking through a fog, not knowing who cared or what truly mattered. Now, she could feel that clarity take shape, but just as relief washed over her, doubt flickered in with its unwelcome shadow. What if she was meant to take her sister's moment of celebration for herself? Would Emily understand? "Mom, is she?" "She knows," her mom interrupted, a reassuring smile breaking across her face. "She's excited to share this with you. I promise." With the truth hanging in the air, Claire inhaled deeply, reassured but still uncertain. The party outside continued, and laughter floated in through the door, yet Claire felt torn, suspended between joy and apprehension. Can we go then?" Claire asked, nervous energy swirling around her once more. "Of course, my dear." Her mother held out her hand, ready to lead the way back into the light. But Claire hesitated, a new thought striking her. If they're celebrating Emily, what does that mean for me? Am I just a guest at my own party? Suddenly, the warmth of the kitchen felt cold again, and doubts rushed in like a tidal wave. What was she really walking into? The air thickened with unsaid words, and she could feel the weight of expectations pressing down again. "Mom, wait." Claire hesitated again, uncertainty clawing at her heart. What if? But her mother's gentle squeeze of her hand filled Claire with a sense of hope as she prepared to step back into a world that lay in the shadows of her doubts and fears. Would she be able to embrace the joy waiting for her? What awaited them outside? Would the unexpected still be something worth celebrating? As Claire stood at the threshold, her mother's hand a reassuring anchor, she felt the thrum of the party beckoning her like a siren's song. The laughter, the clinking of glasses, and the vibrant music pulsed like the heartbeat of a world eager for her return. Yet trepidation clung to her like winter's chill. She glanced at her mother, seeking guidance, a silent plea for reassurance. "Mom, are you sure?" Claire's voice trembled a bit, the insecurity creeping back in. "What if everybody thinks I'm just overshadowing Emily?" Her mother's smile was steady and warm. "Sweetheart, this isn't about competition. It's a celebration of both of you. Love expands, it doesn't divide. You're worth celebrating just as much." Claire took a deep breath, feeling the heaviness in her chest ease a bit. Maybe her mom was right, maybe there was enough love to go around. She nodded, resolve building within her. "Okay, let us do this." Hand in hand, they stepped out of the kitchen and into the festive chaos. The cheerful clamor enveloped them like a cherished old song, familiar and comforting. Bright balloons floated above clusters of vibrant decorations, and the aroma of homemade treats mingled with the sharp scent of fresh flowers. As they entered the living room, Claire's heart skipped. There, amidst the gathered friends and family, stood Emily, radiant and beaming. Their eyes met, and Claire felt a rush of unspoken emotion pass between them, a current of understanding that spoke louder than words. "Claire! You're here!" Emily exclaimed, rushing over and pulling her into a hug that felt like a cocoon, warm and safe. "I was worried you'd miss all of this." "I thought you'd be the focus of the celebration," Claire admitted, a sheepish grin breaking through her earlier nerves. "Focus? No way. This is for both of us." Emily's laughter rang out, echoing the joy in the air. "Now let us make some memories." The party whirled around them as friends came to congratulate both sisters. With each cheer and that sweet, familiar laughter, Claire's fear began to dissolve entirely. The dance of emotions made her heart swell, a blend of pride, love, and a hint of bittersweet nostalgia for all the moments they had shared through the years, yet there lingered a flicker of worry. What if tonight turned into a competition of affection and attention? She glanced at Emily, whose laughter was pure, genuine, effortlessly filling the room. Would she still feel special standing alongside her sister? "Hey, you!" Emily's voice cut through Claire's thoughts. "Dance with me." Before Claire could protest, her sister pulled her onto the makeshift dance floor. The music changed to something lively, charmingly nostalgic, and Claire found herself moving to the rhythm, laughter spilling from her lips as she twirled with Emily. For that moment, everything felt right, but amidst the joy, a question nagged at her. Was she really okay with sharing this moment? As the chorus played on, spinning in that dizzying swirl of lights and laughter, she glanced back at her mother. The look in her mom's eyes was filled with love and pride, a reminder of all the times they had lifted each other up through challenges. As they danced, Claire felt a sudden urge to say something, to lay bare her heart in that euphoric moment. Can we just talk later? I've been feeling really." But before she could finish, the crowd around them erupted into applause. Her dad appeared, holding a cake alight with candles, shimmering in the soft glow of the fairy lights strung above. "This is it," he called out. "A toast to two amazing daughters." The atmosphere shifted instantly, every eye drawn to Emily and Claire's heart raced again, but for different reasons. She felt the love wash over her, a tidal wave of warmth and joy that made her almost giddy. Unable to ignore the pulse of connection that bound them all, Claire squeezed Emily's hand tightly. She was here, she was loved, and this was their moment together. But as they faced the crowd, she felt another layer of awareness emerge. An unexpected concept of sharing was again looming. Would this moment forge deeper bonds or spark new insecurities? The cake candles burned brightly, but Claire knew she was about to blow out more than just flames. Would sharing her birthday prove to be truly liberating, or would it perpetuate her fears of being overshadowed? As the cheers echoed around her once more, Claire steadied herself, poised to embrace this complicated web of love and celebration. Taking a deep breath, she prepared to make a wish, but her heart whispered a question instead. What exactly did she want more than candles and cake? Would this night reveal what she truly needed from her family and from herself? As the candles flickered under the gentle glow of the fairy lights, Claire squeezed her eyes shut, willing her heart to settle. The gathering around her buzzed with anticipation, the faces filled with happiness. They were all here, celebrating, but this birthday moment felt layered and complex. With her heart pounding, she made her wish. I just want to feel enough. She blew out the candles, and the room erupted in cheers, the sound wrapping around her like a warm hug. Everyone clapped, shouted congratulations, and Emily squeezed her hand tighter, an anchor in the rising tide of emotions. Okay. Cake time, their dad boomed, smiling widely as he cut the first slice and handed it to Emily. The slices were quickly distributed, and Claire watched as her sister's face lit up with joy over something as simple as cake. But underneath the playful banter, Claire felt a stillness taking root in her heart, a mix of contentment and confusion. The laughter continued around her, but the pressing need for clarity grew more intense. Was it selfish to want one day that didn't feel shared? Hey, you! What was your wish? You gotta tell me. Emily's voice pulled Claire from her thoughts, bright and eager. Claire's smile faltered. I wished for, let us just say it was about feeling special tonight. Oh, come on. You know my wish was about you, right? That we'd have an amazing night together. Emily's eyes sparkled with sincerity, and in that moment, Claire felt the weight of her secret desire lift a bit. Perhaps it wasn't about overshadowing, perhaps it was about embracing what they had together. As the cake was devoured, conversations flowed. They were surrounded by loved ones, but Claire caught snippets of hushed discussions. Her friends exchanged knowing looks, and Aunt Marge whispered something to her mom that made Claire's stomach knot. Were they talking about her? About Emily? Before she could dwell on that, Claire heard the music shift to a slow ballad. Dance with me. Emily pulled her onto the floor again, and Claire felt alive in the moment, swaying under the golden lights. I'm so glad you're here, Emily murmured softly, looking into Claire's eyes. I was worried for a second that this party would mean more to me than it would to you. Claire's heart sank. I didn't want to feel like I was stealing your spotlight. It's your birthday too, after all. With a knowing smile, Emily shook her head. No way. You could never steal my spotlight, Claire. We shine brighter together. A wave of gratitude washed over Claire, along with a storm of emotions she had yet to comprehend. She held her sister close, feeling the familiar rhythm of their bond. But the weight wasn't completely gone. How could she navigate this newfound space where they celebrated each other, instead of competing? The dance ended too soon, and Claire felt the jolt of reality return as Emily drifted toward her friends, sharing stories and laughter. But Claire's mind raced, buzzing with the possibility of what was unfolding. Would tonight mark a deeper connection between them, or would it shadow her insecurities in a way that would linger beyond this celebration? Before she could step back into the crowd, she noticed her mom standing at the edge of the room, her expression a mix of joy and something Claire couldn't quite pin down. Curiosity drew her closer. Mom, are you okay? You looked a bit pensive. Her mom's smile lingered, but the look in her eyes was layered with something unspoken. I'm fine, darling. Just proud of both my girls. But sometimes, the heart has more to share than what's on the surface. Claire's heart raced again. What did her mom know? What was bubbling beneath this joyous occasion? At that moment, an unbidden thought crossed her mind. Strange and unsettling, could there be something more significant at play tonight? As the music played on and the laughter filled the air, Claire felt that familiar pang of longing for clarity. She longed to understand not just her fears, but the deeper emotional web woven among them all, a web that might already be shifting. What if tonight had surprises tucked away in its folds, waiting to be discovered? Could they uncover truths that would reshape everything they knew about their family, their bond, and ultimately, themselves? With these thoughts swirling in her mind, she prepared to dive deeper into the night and confront whatever revelations awaited her. What would she uncover when the celebrations faded and the lights dimmed? As laughter echoed and the warmth of the celebration embraced them, Claire felt the moment shift. She stepped back, taking a deep breath, anchoring herself amid the swirling emotions and encouraging conversations. Her heart longed for openness, for real connections, especially with Emily. The future felt brimming with possibilities, a chance to transform shared insecurities into shared triumphs. The cake was all but gone, and as guests began to gather for a toast, Claire locked eyes with her sister. "Hey, can we talk?" she called out amid the flurry. Emily smiled reassuringly and nodded, leading Claire to a quieter corner, the soft glow of fairy lights surrounding them like a halo. "What's up?" she asked, her voice gentle. "I just wanted to say this party, it's more than just a celebration, isn't it?" It feels like. Claire hesitated. The words felt precarious, but necessary. "Like what?" Emily urged, encouraging her to continue. "Like it's bringing us closer, in a way I never expected. I've spent so much time feeling invisible next to you. But tonight, I want you to know, I don't want to feel that way anymore." Claire poured her heart out, delight and vulnerability blended. "I want us to celebrate each other, like we're doing right now. I want to be better together." Emily's eyes glimmered, filled with warmth as she took Claire's hands in hers. "You have always been enough, Claire. You blaze your own trail. I've looked up to you for so long. This moment, it's just the beginning. We could be equals, each shining in our own right." A genuine smile stretched across Claire's face, buoyed by her sister's acceptance. "You really mean that?" she asked, searching Emily's eyes. "Absolutely." Her sister beamed. "Let us hold each other accountable. From now on, it's no longer about just one of us. It's about both of us always lifting each other up. Together." A wave of relief washed over Claire, leaving the trepidation she had harbored behind. "Okay, I'm in." The bond strengthened, they exchanged an embrace that encapsulated years of ups and downs, trials and errors. It felt like a reset and acknowledgment of both their journeys. Moments later, their parents approached, drawn by a sweet curiosity. Their mother looked at both daughters, a broad smile illuminating her face. "I couldn't help but overhear a bit of your conversation, and I just want to say how proud I am of you too. It's wonderful to see you opening up together. This is what family is about." Their father piped up, and now it's time for the toast. "Come on, everyone." His voice rang out, electrifying the room once again. Standing together, Claire and Emily faced their family, hearts swelling as their parents took center stage. As glasses were raised, Claire felt the love wrap tightly around her. Her heart danced, bubbles of joy unraveling inside. "To Claire and Emily," her father proclaimed, filled with pride. "Two amazing daughters who each deserve their own spotlight, who light up our lives in different ways. Here's to celebrating your shared journey, and all your future adventures." The sounds of cheers filled the air, punctuated by clinking glasses and laughter. Claire's spirit soared, the past pains of being overshadowed beginning to fall away. This night, with all its unexpected revelations, was a canvas painted rich with understanding. As joyful songs filled the atmosphere again, Claire took Emily's hand, whispering, "This is our night." "Every night can be ours," Emily replied, and together they joined their family at the center of the room, laughter mingling with the melody of togetherness. Claire felt an overwhelming sense of acceptance wash over her. She was seen not just as the older sister, the caretaker, but as a vital part of the family's tapestry. And alongside Emily, they could build something beautiful together. With each smile exchanged and every toast offered, Claire understood the heart of their family more clearly. Life's burden might never fully lift, but it was never meant to be borne alone. Together they could weave through joy, heartache, and growth, sharing burdens but also sharing light. In that moment, amidst the whirl of love and laughter, Claire found her answer. Simply being herself was enough. She didn't have to chase validation or acceptance, they were already hers. As night elegantly draped around them in a soft, comforting embrace, Claire's heart glowed with hope and gratitude. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she was ready to face them, along with her sister, united in love. And in the midst of that vibrant celebration, Claire discovered something profound. Family was less about the title and more about the strength of bonds created through understanding, love, and forgiveness. The true gift was not just in sharing life's moments of brightness, but in exploring the shadows together. As they soaked in the warmth of the celebration, Claire felt a rush of love. They were home, now. Do not wait another second. You need to subscribe right now to this channel to keep up with these exclusive stories on love, family, and growth. Hit that like button immediately to feed the algorithm. Trust me, it really matters. Leave your thoughts and feelings about this emotional ending in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And don't forget to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this inspiring transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Let us keep this community growing together.